This is Mansplaining on KEGL Fort Worth, Dallas, 97.1 The Freak.
It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who, at the best, knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who, at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat.
Let me tell you something. Nowadays, everybody's got to go to shrinks and counselors and go on Sally, Jesse, Raphael and talk about their problems. Whatever happened to Gary Cooper, the strong, silent type? That was an American. He wasn't in touch with his feelings. He just did what he had to do. See, what they didn't know is once they got Gary Cooper in touch with his feelings, that they wouldn't be able to shut him up. And then it's dysfunction this, and dysfunction that, and dysfunction up.
Alrighty then, welcome on into a Sunday edition of Mansplaining. I'm Pugs Moran, alongside my partner, Dr. Robert Schwartz. We do this, typically, you would hear us here on 97.1 The Freak on a... No, not typically. I'm not even going to say that anymore. Supposedly, this is a show that airs on Saturday and Sundays, but we've been bounced around a lot, and we're okay with that.
We're on. You pick any two random nights of the week, and any given week we're on.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to guess, but you got to, on any given night, you got a 1 out of 7 shot.
What we do is we get together sometime in the middle of the week. We all put on blindfolds. We spin around 3 times, and we throw a dart at a calendar. And those are the days that we do shows.
A cowlander.
A cowlander. Hey, that's Ao, everybody. Say hello to Ao.
Hello, I'm drinking tea. How are you?
Ao, my newest Facebook friend.
That's right. I hunted him down. Right now, on his profile picture on Dr. Schwartz's Facebook page is his AICG facial recreation.
It's very weird.
That everybody's doing right now.
Very weird.
Swear I'm not ever going there because I'm going to want it too bad.
I'm on top of all the newest
He
things.
thinks he looks like a cultist in his Facebook AI picture.
Kids, hold on, because this is all very good subject matter. But let me reset what we're doing here. It's Mansplaining. Typically, we're on Saturday and Sunday evenings, 9 to 11, right here on 97.1 The Freak. Tonight is a Sunday show with no Cowboy game. That's good. We expect a lot of calls. 214-787-1971. That's 214-787-1971. What do we do here, Schwartz? What is this?
We take your calls, and you ask us a question about whatever.
Advice.
Yeah,
old school advice.
Relationship, marriage,
doesn't matter.
dating,
We don't
sex. Whatever. Doesn't anything.
Yeah, whatever's
doesn't
going
matter.
on. You got a beef? You got something you want to beef about? Maybe get our take on something that irritates you? That's fine. That's what we do. We are bringing back the magic of the old school caller-driven radio show. That's what we're doing here. And by the way, we got a special show on Tuesday. We're going to be on Tuesday. That's why we weren't on last night. So Tuesday night,
Tuesday's
9
a whole
to 11.
different set of problems that come in.
Tuesday
it's
problems.
a weeknight. It's more work problems.
It is. And by the way, here's what again, these are you got a problem with your wife, that's fine. You got a problem with an ex, that's fine. You got a problem with your friend, you got a neighbor that drives you nuts, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. We're here to help you. Schwartz.
Maybe you're happy with your wife. We can fix that.
We can fix that too.
Yeah.
Whatever direction you need to go in, we'll nudge you there.
We'll mess it up.
Schwartz is, of course, a board certified smart person. He's got an Ivy League education, and he knows all of that stuff.
The Board of Smarts.
The Board of Smarts. And I'm just an everyday 2 cup of coffee in the morning. Joe,
you're a smart person. You're just not board certified.
I've just screwed up.
You didn't bother, submitting to the man's testing.
I didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I did? I got certified by the streets. I am street certified. 2 divorces.
Street smart certified.
Destroyed every relationship I've ever been in.
And then some.
Well, you're the same, right? We know. We've made the mistakes.
I'm 0 for 1. Yeah.
All right, so that's why you can feel comfortable trusting myself and Dr. Schwartz with your most private questions. 214-787-1971. Let's also say hello to Lacey. Lacey is here. Hi, Lacey.
Hi, guys. I'm also equally as destructive. I like to mess things up for myself quite often, so I'm used to that
She
as
knows.
well.
We've screwed everything up. There is no situation you can present to us that we can't at least relate to.
Yeah, that we haven't messed up at least once, and now we know what we wouldn't do again.
Yeah. Lacey, we debuted last week a new segment we're calling Leather and Lacey. And it happens at 10:30. We don't even know what it is. Sounds like it should be a BDSM segment, but it's not. Go ahead, Schwartz. One more time. Hit your head on the microphone. That is the second time he has banged his head on the microphone.
You know, you could have just passed that off as like some
did the first time.
Some blip in the control room.
If it makes you guys feel any better, Reiner does it at least 3 times a week, and he's been here daily.
I knocked a tooth loose.
I may have a concussion. I may have a concussion now, though.
Schwartz, I literally knocked a tooth loose
On the
once.
microphone?
On a microphone in 1996, 97 it had to have been. Somebody was talking smack about me on the radio on a show that I was on, and I came running in from another studio, and as I was leaning into the microphone, Peggy, who was our news girl, Peggy moved the microphone closer to me as I was running in, and it popped me right in the face and knocked my tooth loose. I had to go to the dentist.
Did they put it back in?
Well, it never fell out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it re-adhered.
They had to, that's what they did. They did something. All right. So are we all set? We've got some calls here. We should jump into the calls right away, right? Let's do that.
Absolutely.
We're
That's
here
what
till
we're here
midnight.
for, yeah.
All right. Let's jump in. Who's the first caller we've got here? This is Dej. Dej, welcome into Mansplaining with me, Pugs Moran, and he, Dr. Robert Schwartz. What can we do you for, sir?
Man, what's going on, fellas? How you guys doing?
Man, we are doing good. What I can already tell. He said like one sentence, and I can already tell something's going on in Dej's life. What's happening, Val? What's going on?
Man, I'm just so stressed and depressed. You know, it's like the holiday season, you know, and like this is my first time being in a long-term relationship, like in a long time, and I really found the girl that I like, but it's a kid, man. It's a kid.
She's got a kid, or she's a kid, because those are two very different situations.
Definitely understand. No, she has a kid, and you know, and I like always try to be fair and balanced towards everybody. But there's something about this kid. Like, not only do I feel like he doesn't like me, I don't like him.
How old?
And he's like 9 years old.
Okay, so he can't kick your ass, so that's not a problem. See, when you get to be my age, Dej, you start dating women with kids who can kick your ass, and that becomes a whole nother concern. Sounds like that's not a real problem for you.
I almost wish he was old enough to fight. I can only just do like little passive aggressive things, you know, to try to hurt
Settle
him.
it once and for all.
They can be real farts at that age. They can really be hellions.
So what's going on? What's going on between the two of you? What's this kid doing?
I mean, it's like little passive aggressive things. Like, so like my Netflix is logged in at the house over there. He changes all the profile pictures on the Netflix thing, and he changes me to like a girly character. Like his name is Max, and he also made my face Max from Stranger Things, which I felt like was weird. And then
that's the redheaded girl, right?
Yeah, and I'm like I'm like the blackest black guy. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, yo, I had who I had for a reason. You know?
Yeah. If it helps any, my 20-year-old son changed my profile on Netflix to the pink cowboy. My actual son.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, if it makes you guys feel any better, my actual son likes to use my YouTube account, and it's nothing but like gamers and people getting kicked in the nuts. That's all my YouTube account is now. Because
it would be that anyways, you know it.
Probably some
I
variation of that.
definitely understand that struggle. And like, and being that this is her first child, like she really over babies Max.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is common, but he's 9 and he's still in a car seat.
What?
And
That is not common. That is absolutely not common. As a matter of fact, I couldn't wait to get my kid out of the car seat. I couldn't wait. What is it, 4 or something? They turn a certain age?
It's a certain height. I don't
Yeah,
know. They got to be like 6 feet.
Was he still breastfeeding too? You know, sometimes you see those weird parents where they're still like,
Yeah, like I don't understand it. So like, I mean, so knowing that like he's in a car seat, what I like to do is I don't even buckle it good. And sometimes I kick some of those corners as fast as I can, you know?
knock him around a little. All right, well, that's a little bit over the top. Here's what I'll say, and then I'll let the doctor talk to you because I'm sure that he's got some good advice.
Okay.
9 years old, you can work with that. I mean, honestly, 9 years old, there's a lot. If you are truly interested in seeing where the relation, how you feel about the mama?
The mother, she's everything that my ex wasn't. You know what I'm saying? She has her life together. She's very career orientated. All these amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
And even the sex life is amazing. But the problem is, he'll just bust through the door in the middle of the night, somebody entering the ring at the Royal Rumble, and it's and the door be locked. But he knows how to smoothly enter. He's almost caught us so many times, and it just it gives me great anxiety. It's almost like the antenna doesn't want to go all the way up because you're afraid of getting caught in the act.
Yeah, well, that's a no-go. So that one's easy. Get a better lock on the door. Deadbolt if you need to. It doesn't matter. Keep him out.
Unless she's fighting you on that. She's like, no, he needs to be able to come and go.
He's 9. He doesn't need to come and go.
These things are obviously bothering you. How are they affecting her in the moment? Is she lighten up? It's not that big of a deal. Or is she there with you? Boy, this is really inconvenient.
Does she even know that you have this issue with him?
She does, but she just kind of it's almost like you're talking into a wishing well. They receive the information or the money that you're giving it, and then they just all right, next. It seems like she hears me, but she's not listening. Or her love for her child, kind of supersedes the relationship, which I understand. It's your kid. However, are you going to let this spoiled, rotten kid possibly, ruin the best relationship you've ever been in?
Well, if you're not connecting with the kid, maybe it's not the best relationship she's ever been in. Let me ask you this. Where's Bio Dad? Where's he in this picture?
He travels a lot. I think he's a trucker or something. She doesn't really tell me a lot about his biological dad, but
Is he there? Is he in the kid's life, though? Does the kid see him?
Not enough. He's always I guess talking to him on his phone and texting with him or whatever. It seems more so when I'm there. But it's just the weirdest thing. And I want to embrace him, but he makes it ultra hard. I mean, sometimes when I leave in the morning, I just want to leave the garage door open and just hope something happens.
No, come on. Okay, that's the second time you've stated something that could come back to haunt you.
Yeah, no, because if this kid goes missing or something, you're now the prime suspect. So you got to not say these kind of things on the radio.
Let me give you a flip perspective here. If you just bear with me here for a moment, because I was this 9-year-old. I was raised by a single mom. My father died when I was very young, and I was absolutely brutal to everybody that my mom dated. And I can tell you, and I only realized this much later as a grown-up, it wasn't because I didn't like necessarily the people she was dating, although there was one in particular that I didn't like. But the reason was because I felt as a young, it had always just been me and mom. And that's why I was asking about the presence of the father. It had always been me and mom, and I grew up as a boy feeling like she was mine and only mine. I mean, in a very non-sexual child to his mother kind of attachment. And anybody else that came into the picture that she seemed to like, I felt threatened by. And that became a threat to me. Is she going to like him more than me?
Did you know you were feeling threatened, or you just knew something you didn't like?
No, not until much later. Therapy. Until much later in therapy is when you realize this stuff. Yeah. At the time, I was just a little spoiled, rotten jerk who was a D to everybody my mom brought home. So, and you can't fix that, Dej. As the guy coming, you can't, there's nothing you can do about that. I can tell you there wasn't anything that any man could have done to me at that point to win me over. So this could be very unwinnable. This is a cross that a lot of single moms bear, where, their kids are just the reason they don't have a fulfilling relationship.
I have to agree with that. But I think there are certain things you can do, okay, to hopefully make this go better. One, the first thing you say, get that door locked effectively. That's an absolute. Right. You need your privacy, and you don't need this kid barging in because, we don't need to go into that. You know why.
Right.
You know why. You know why.
But you do need to prepare yourself that there are going to be, this isn't going to just be perfect. If you do see an opportunity to have a fulfilling, committed relationship with this woman, there's going to be a lot of work here because this kid is 9. He's going to be around for at least another 10 years, probably more than that. And at some point, he might be able to kick your ass. So you got to be worried about that. You don't want to be a 50-year-old man having to fight a 19-year-old on the front porch. That ain't fun.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
But before that, look, I think you gotta, as diplomatically as you can, you've gotta, as frequently as necessary, have this discussion with her about, what, and to some degree with him as to what is acceptable for you as to how you're going to be treated by him and by her. And, she's either at, I don't necessarily think this is going to happen immediately, but she's at some point going to have to hear you on this and do something, right? If you're going to continue this relationship, because you're not going to be in this unacceptable relationship where you're being constantly mocked by her kid. You can't have that. So at some point, she's going to have to do something about it, and you'll have to draw your boundaries, and either it's going to work or it's not. But
it's going to be hard for her.
You got to put it out there.
It's going to be hard for mom, because mom very well may love you, but guess what? She loves her son more. No offense, but that's.
But you know what? The thing is, the two things aren't mutually exclusive, right?
Exactly.
In doing this and setting boundaries for him as to how she treats them, as how he treats the men in her life, she's doing him a favor. She's not doing him any favor by allowing him to be obnoxious to you. So in reality, the right thing for him is the right thing for you too.
Indeed. Well, I appreciate y'all feedback and your insight on this, and hopefully we can get this sorted out before Christmas, because
that's kind of pushing it.
The only thing I want to get him for Christmas is poison at this point.
No, that's 3 times. Stop that.
Yeah, get him some kid.
You know what? Get him
over.
Get him socks. He'll hate that as much as poison.
Socks.
As much as poison.
As much as poison, he will. Yeah, that's
Thank
for
y'all
sure.
so much, guys.
Hey, Des, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. There he goes. 214-787-1971. That's 214-787-1971. Let's go to Dolores. Dolores, you're on Mansplaining with me, Pugs Moran, and he, Dr. Robert Schwartz. Welcome.
Hi, well, thank you very much. Glad you took my call. How are you this evening?
I'm more pleased that you called. We are doing wonderful.
Good.
What can we do for you?
Well, I guess it's a little dilemma, maybe. I guess that's what I would maybe call it. So, I have 2 sons, and they're, over 18, and they're going over to the local college, junior college, and I'm bored, and, I'm single, not because I want to be, but, and I decided the local college is having some pole dancing classes. So I thought, that's something fun I can learn to do. I'm a little bottom heavy, so, I didn't know how that was going to work.
Hey, that's in vogue these days. That's not a problem these days.
That's it.
They like a big...
Yeah.
People, I come from the era where, it was like a tight, little button bonjour jeans, but apparently now, big, large hips
That's
and all
right.
that is very popular.
I've got a lot of junk in my trunk.
There you go. That's what they say.
Where's the problem coming in?
The problem coming in, I can already tell. Her 2 sons go to this community college, and she's taking pole dancing lessons there.
Yeah, and so I'm, I was on my 3rd class, and I'm the oldest one in there, and I didn't realize that, but I'm the oldest one in, and a lot of these other girls are real young and cute, so I, gotten to be friends with them. We're all kind of cool, because, I'm real cool. And apparently my sons were coming by, and they were walking through the hall, and they saw me. Well, I was attempting to pull myself up on the pole, and they were disgusted. The look on their face, because I waved, and I told everybody, there's my kids. Adam and Ethan waved. They both looked like, I'm almost sure one of them threw up in his own mouth.
Yeah, can you blame them, Mom? First of all, how old are you? You say you're the oldest one in there. How old are you?
Well, I'm 58.
You're great. You're doing fine. You're out there. You're living life. You're enjoying yourself. It's very traumatic for your boys to see you in such a situation. I can understand
why?
that. Because it's their mom.
But she's not. I'm assuming you're like wearing workout clothes or something, right? You're not naked on the pole.
No.
At the community college. Okay, so.
No, they wouldn't let me.
They need to get over it. Seriously.
Yeah,
this
that's
can't
what
possibly.
I said.
Yeah, they're in their 20s?
Yeah, early 20s.
This can't be the first time they've been appalled by their parents.
No.
I mean, my kids are my kids listen to me talk about sex on the radio. So
do they?
They get up. Well, yeah, they sometimes listen. Most of the time they're not interested. But
I think they should get over it, because I could, there's something for everybody.
Yeah.
And I could be the next big thing in the pole dancing world, and that's
Okay, that's not going to happen. But honestly, if this is something that you enjoy and your kids are in their 20s, I can completely understand how this would be weird for them. But they have to understand that you also have a life and you like to enjoy things too.
Right.
And if they can't get over it, they're old enough to just tough it out.
You're more than just their mom. And by the way, just give them your class schedule and tell them not to walk down the hallway then. Problem solved, okay?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's
Tell them to drink a little bit and forget what they saw. Okay? There you go. I don't see this as I see this as not your problem, but maybe their problem. If it's their problem, it shouldn't be their problem. They're old enough that they should be okay with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someday, I mean, they could see me at a club that they're at, and I'm the main act.
No,
Never know.
no.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
We got to
Okay.
stop with this.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dolores. We appreciate the call. They got to get over it. They got to get over it. You go live your life.
Yeah.
But I do get why.
I think actually
weird
seeing
for 'em.
your mom's strip goes beyond the edge. Yeah.
All right, let's do, we got another 214-787-1971, 214-787-1971. Let's go to Colin. Colin, you're on Mansplaining with me, Pugs Moran, and he, Dr. Robert Schwartz. What can we do for you?
Hey guys,
Hey.
I got a situation that came up this weekend. So I co-parent. I'm divorced, and I have a 12-year-old son, and he was with me this weekend. So he came over. We were, throughout the weekend. He seemed a little off. I asked him what's going on, and I find out that he's been in trouble all week. He's grounded from all his stuff, no PlayStation, the whole 9 yards, and I'm like, well, what did you do to get in trouble? Well,
hold on. Let me stop you here first. Let me just establish something here because I have a kid and I've got an ex-wife, and he spends weekends with me. When my kid is grounded at his main house, his mom, when he's grounded there, I know it. And like she tells me he's grounded, here's why, and then I have to sort of adhere to. Typically, I do. I go, oh my God, what an a-hole move that was. So you and your ex don't have that kind of relationship, like the kid can be grounded at one house and not at the other.
at times. This time I didn't hear anything about it. There's other times that I have heard about it, but he's typically not in trouble very often. So I didn't think, I'm not looking for it, but he usually isn't. And there's been a couple of occasions that she said, yes, he did this or did that, and he's in trouble. And I've did the same thing. If something happened at my house, I told her.
Yeah, that's how it's got to be.
What happened this week, though, that's different?
Yeah, what's the
deal? So the deal this week is he tells me, yeah, well, Mom's mad at me. And I'm like, okay, why? She goes, well, she caught me. I was in the bathroom, and she thinks I'm doing something in the bathroom. And I'm like,
how old is he? How old is he?
He's 12.
Okay.
He's 12.
Okay, so masturbating. Is that he didn't want to say it to you, but that's what's happening? Your 12-year-old got caught masturbating at your ex-wife's house, and now he's grounded.
She grounded him for that?
And I didn't ground him for that.
No, but she did.
My ex-wife did, yes.
Why?
Not only that, she's remarried.
Okay.
Her new husband and she are they're church-going people. They're very religious. And as I talked to him a little bit more about it, she's really upset with him and telling him how bad this is, that something that he's doing. And I've got a huge issue with this because we need to have this discussion, but I don't know how to bring it up with her that you can't be shaming our kid about this. My thoughts on it are you can't be shaming him. This is something natural that's going to happen. She's not from that school.
Yeah. Well, if she's going to ground him for this, he's never going to be ungrounded for the next 10 years at least.
Right. 10 years. He's going to go
Well, he won't be living with her anymore.
If I'm any judge, he's going to solidly carry this into his 40s. And then
yeah,
there'll
but
be some
presumably he's
drop-off.
not living with his mom anymore.
No, that's true.
Well, if he never stops doing it, who knows?
I don't know that we ever stop, but we do have a decrease in the motivation or, whatever at some point.
We can get to that at some point
Yeah.
later.
So here would be my question. You were married to this woman. Did you have any sense that she had these kinds of feelings when you were married, or did her religious conversion and maybe, seeing the light or having a different change of heart, is this something that has happened recently?
I think it's more recently. She was, I'm not saying that she was the most free and open person ever.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't, but she was not this prudish that I can remember. We've been divorced for quite some time. She's been with this relationship for about 7 years now, so it's been a long time. But yes, it's progressively moved further and further into, I don't know if it's just her aging and becoming more conservative. I don't know what it is, but my issue is I feel like we're going to be putting him. There's no reason that we need to be punishing him for this, first of all, and I don't want to say he's doing something bad or wrong when I really don't feel that he's doing something bad or wrong, something that is completely natural. But she doesn't. I don't know if she's going to understand that when I have this conversation with her.
Well, I think you've already hit on the first thing that has to happen is you have to have this conversation with her and see exactly where she is on this, why she grounded him for it, and what her feelings are, and you got to let her know what your feelings are. Ideally, you can come to some sort of agreement as to how you can co-parent on this, and hopefully you can come to common ground on this. Look, I can tell you in my experience, not necessarily this issue, but there are issues, in my, in raising my kids where my ex-wife and I just don't agree, and my kids have gotten grounded for things that I didn't agree with, and you're kind of stuck on a little bit of this. She's going to do what she wants to do in her house. So the first thing I think you got to do is talk to her and establish where you both are on this and see if you can agree on it. And then, I guess problem solved. The second thing you got to do is have a discussion with your son.
Yeah.
And you need to tell him the things that you said here, basically, that you
Well, I've already talked a little bit about it to him this weekend.
Yeah.
Said, you don't have to worry about that. But here's the deal. I know right now that this is not going to be a good conversation because
no one wants to have that conversation.
As time's gone by, she doesn't want to have any conversations. It's like I'm dropping off and picking up, and that's it. There's no. So to start the conversation is where I'm going to struggle. I know.
Well, look, you got to try it, right? It's like a lot of things
at
in
the very
life.
least, you got to go on record as telling her that this is wrong. You disagree with her, even if it doesn't solve anything. You need to go on record as having established a more, I would say, healthy attitude about sex.
Yeah, it's like a lot of things that come up on this show. We can't always control the outcome, but we can control the process. And so you want to be focusing on having the most constructive conversation you have with her that hopefully persuades her to your way of thinking, but at least allows you to co-parent in some way, because if you guys are totally at odds on this, then it's going to make it harder on your son too.
Let me ask you, what religion is she? Just like evangelical Christian, or because I was raised Catholic and I went to Catholic school for a few years, and I can tell you, I went to Catholic school at this very point in my life, 12, 13 years old. Military Catholic boarding school, no less. And I can tell you that the way we in the Catholic schools were taught about this kind of thing was very unhealthy. It was all shame-based. You need to make sure in talking to your son, I think a lot of the problems that people develop with their sexual proclivities later in life have a lot to do with being shame-based early on when they were first starting to understand sex. Sex is not shameful. I mean, there are certain aspects of it that are yes, but you know what I'm saying? These are natural things. These are chemistry things going on inside him. These urges that he's having. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Women do it too. This is what I don't understand. The mother must on some level understand that this is not really something you can control or tamp down. Especially with a boy.
It is, but that's not really the point here. So, you want to have the discussion of what you feel is healthy and what is, and what he should be thinking about this. You also want,
he shouldn't feel shame about the changes he's going through. It's kind of the simplification of what I'm trying to say.
Here's where this gets complicated, at least in my experience, is that he's going to do this, right? So you kind of want to, so there's things, look, you want to be able to give him advice on what he can do so as this doesn't become a point of constant friction between him and his mom. Things like locking the door. But at the same time, look, it's important, though. You also want to put the message out there, look, I'm not trying to say something. I don't want to get the idea that I'm encouraging you to disrespect your mom or disobey your mom, but I get that you're probably going to do this. So, try not to get caught.
Yeah, and the other piece
that's because
that was kind of what I came up with already. Is like, well, you're going to do. I know you're going to do this. It's okay. Don't get caught, man. You can't get caught. But I don't.
And you know what? If I happen as a parent, if I happen to stumble across it, you know what my deal is going to be? I'm just going to act like I didn't see anything. I'm just going to leave you alone. I'm not going to stop
there's
you and
another
go, what are
move.
you doing?
Have you ever been caught?
No. I'm certain.
That's an easy question.
I've never been confronted, but I'm certain that, like,
How
someone
could you be caught and not know it?
Well, they put their ear to the bedroom. Are you being quiet?
Okay, that's
in there?
not really being caught. That
no,
could,
that I'm not. Of course
you could have been
I'm
doing
not.
laundry or
And
something.
first of all, I can tell you, if I was caught, my mom was so cool. My mom would have just not. She probably knew what was going on.
Yeah, I've gone 61 years without being caught. Your son needs to be a little more careful.
Yeah.
He's 12. He's like 0 for 1 on this.
Have the same
here's-
talk with him.
here's
You're going to
the
have.
other thing.
Have the same talk with him. You're going to have about beer. I know you're going to do it. If you're going to do it, make sure you do it in the house. Don't do it outside the house.
And don't drive masturbating.
Don't masturbate or
And
drink
drive.
beer outside of the house.
And drive.
Yes,
Right.
that's it.
Okay.
Do it in the house.
So important, unless you have tinted windows.
Don't shame your son.
good.
That's all I'm saying. Just, you know what? Go to war with your ex if you have to. What the hell? She's already an ex.
Don't
but
go
don't
to
shame
war.
your son.
Do what you can here. Don't go to
She sounds nuts. She sounds crazy.
She is a super hoverer too. So I'm not surprised he got caught because she doesn't leave him alone ever. I mean, I don't know where you would get time to even been away that long to do it because she is just this hovering parent that needs to be in his business.
Buy her and her new husband gift certificates for fancy dinner so they can go out on a Saturday night.
Dinner and a
There you
show.
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And just
Get him out of the house.
And again, for this particular situation, this is your lane, Dad. He doesn't want 12-year-old son doesn't want mom talking to him about what he's going.
No, nor does he want Dad.
He don't want Dad
No
either,
one.
but Dad is a little bit more. I think Dad is more appropriate. If you got to sit down and talk to your son about this kind of stuff, trust me, I didn't have a dad. I had a mom. I prefer I had a dad.
so glad neither of my parents ever talked to me about this.
Look at you. You're a mess. All right. Appreciate you, Colin. Thank you so much, and best of luck to you. All right, we need to take a quick break. We'll be back. Phone number is 214-787-1971. That's 214-787-1971. Here till 11 o'clock. We'll be back after this. It's Mansplaining with me, Pugs Moran, and Dr. Robert Schwartz on 97.1 The Freak.
It's Mansplaining with Pugs and Dr. Robert Schwartz. You never know where a story might take you.
You sit there, and it's the raincoat dudes, and it's couples, and it's creepy.
Call us and tell us yours. 214-787-1971.
It's Mansplaining. I'm Pugs Moran. That's Dr. Robert Schwartz. You know, at 10:30 on this show, we like to do a little segment we call Leather and Lacey, where we bring Lacey on, and she just kind of gives us stuff to chew on from her, the female perspective. And last week, it was all about what an a-hole I am. That was apparently, right? That was the first episode of Leather and Lacey was what a jerk I am.
Right.
And it's because of my criticisms of Lacey's voiceovers on our rejoins.
I thought you were leading to this week. It's going to be what an a-hole I am.
Well, I think that's probably. Yeah.
We'll see.
So
We'll see.
We'll see. Leather and Lacey coming up at
I'm
10:30.
comfortable with that.
Why do you sound like an automated operator from 1979 giving me the phone number? The number you've dialed 131. That's what you sound like.
Because whereas you said last week you thought you were dealing with a professional, I forgot that I was not, and I actually went into straight voiceover mode, where if people tell me to be slow and sexy, that's what I was doing. But I'm more used to doing meditation normally. I'm terrible?
What?
I'm terrible? Did that voice just tell me that I'm terrible?
I think we can do week 2 of what an a-hole Pugs is.
I think it's going to happen. I've got new material right now.
We can skip me for another week. What?
All right, let's go back to the phones. Let's get rid of the Fleetwood Mac. Is this Fleetwood Mac or Stevie Nicks?
Fleetwood Mac, isn't it?
No,
I don't know.
Stevie Nicks, Leather and Lace.
Leather and Lace,
That's
silly.
right. It's Stevie Nicks and Tom Petty, right?
Yeah, it's Stevie Nicks and Don Henley.
Stevie Nicks and Kenny Loggins, right?
The Petty one was
Stevie
Stop
Nicks and
Dragging
Yanni.
My Heart Around.
Stevie Nicks. She did duets with everybody. It was just running through.
Bing Crosby?
Bing Crosby.
That's one way to say
Right,
it.
yeah. Al Jolson. That was a good one.
Was an excellent one.
That was Stevie Nicks, Al Jolson.
Not that old.
That was good.
Charles de Gaulle?
I didn't know he was a singer until I heard. Yes. Yeah,
She
very
makes
good.
anyone sound good.
She's good. Okay, so couple of things here. 214-787-1971. That's what we do. We take your phone calls. There was something that I wanted to mention that I completely... I just forgot. All right, that's all right. Let's go to the calls. Derek, you are on Mansplaining with me, Pugs Moran, and he, Dr. Robert Schwartz. What can we do for you?
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Derek! Well, Sunday night, we're just trying to solve people's problems. You got one for us?
Sunday fun day, am I right?
Can we dispense with that already?
I hate that. You know what? Last week I said we need to get rid of people who say, it is what it is. But yeah.
You know what? Sunday fun day can go first.
You can go, Sunday fun day. But I could tell by the way he said it, that's not something that rolls off his tongue easily.
No, and Sunday fun day, it's always someone like day drinking.
Always a douche. Yeah, it's always some douche, Yeah. Some douche in a flat-brimmed hat.
Shut up. Stop having fun.
On Sundays?
Yeah, don't have fun.
Lord's Day.
Yeah, don't have fun. You know what? If you're going to have fun, shut up about it.
What's
every day is a fun day if you make it fun.
There you listen.
There
to that.
you go.
There you go.
Exactly.
Derek, what is your issue?
I don't really have one. I just kind of want to call and see what you guys are doing.
Oh, really? Because it says here you got a problem with an in-law.
Dude, yeah. So I came in town on Thanksgiving to hang out with my brother and his wife, and I'm kind of getting the notion that his wife's getting a little pissed that I'm still here.
Your brother's getting pissed? What's he getting pissed?
I think his wife is. I just figured I'd hang out until Christmas.
Okay. So, all right. So this is
you don't have anywhere to be?
This is the guest that would. So you are the guest that wouldn't leave. Typically, I would expect maybe your brother-in-law to be calling in with a problem, but no, you are proudly the guest. So you came into town.
Derek has an issue with freeloading off his brother, and his brother-in-law not liking it.
You're the freeloader, because I had this read backwards. You're the freeloader, and you're calling in, and you don't understand what they're upset about?
I wouldn't say I'm freeloading. I mean, I bring good times.
Yeah, I guess that's something.
No, that's still freeloading.
All right, so this is your sister's house?
No, it's my brother's house. It's his wife that's getting pissed off.
Is your brother cool with it, though?
I mean, she's just dropping, snide comments and stuff like that, but...
Well, what kind of snide
comments? Why should I leave and come back when I can just stay here?
You sound like the kind of guy who reacts to snide. Snide sounds like it's right in your wheelhouse. Yeah, you sound very passive, like not a lot of screaming. You're kind of laid back, but you can cut to the quick with a good line.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point of getting mad about it?
Well, you're the one that needs to leave. So the situation is that you are How long are you going to stay?
I don't know. I mean, I'll probably go back home at New Year's or something. I don't know.
And back home is what? Mom's, or do you have?
I got some roommates up in St. Louis.
Okay. So did they put you up to this to call? I don't understand how this came to be. Okay.
No, I was just.
So how can we help? Are you looking to smooth this over, or are you looking to break up your brother's marriage? What's the goal here?
Nah, I mean, I want to know what her problem is.
You!
Her problem is you, exactly.
You seem to be the problem.
You came over and you wouldn't leave. That's her problem.
Okay.
Well, what's the big deal? I mean, I'm going to come back at Christmas. I mean, I might as well just stay.
Right, I think she wants you to leave in the interim is the problem.
It's 600 miles. St. Louis, it's 600. No, well, 6, yeah.
He's not walking.
Miles.
You're not walking, are you?
Yeah.
He's not walking.
What are you, driving? Hitching? You sound like a guy that hitches.
I mean, I drove down here. But I've always thought about hopping trains.
Hopping trains. All right.
Yeah, dude, I found this really cool YouTube channel where these guys hop trains. And it seems like a really fun thing to do, but it's just too cold for that kind of thing right now.
Yeah, it's not train hopping season.
It's not.
You've got to wait till spring.
So where are you living in this house? Like a couch in the living room, or do you have a room?
Well, I mean, pretty much wherever I pass out.
So there isn't even a room for you in this house.
Is there a room for you, or you just don't make it, or is there?
But,
there is.
Like I said, it's Sunday fun day, so I'll probably end up sleeping here on the couch.
Okay, see, that's a problem because, see, it's not your house and it's not your home. You have to, on some level, understand that you are a guest and that there are certain
Rules
to being a
that's the
guest.
word.
And it sounds like you're taking advantage of the fact that this is your brother. You and your brother are close, right? You probably whipped each other's ass a dozen times in the last.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. All right. So you and your brother, and you can't offend each other. Your brother doesn't Your brother sounds like kind of a dimwit, though, if he doesn't understand why his wife is upset about this whole thing.
I mean, like, I just tune out all the fighting.
But it's about you. You shouldn't be tuning it out. You should be taking it to heart.
I mean, when it gets too loud, I just go outside and have a dart.
Just a smoke. Are you smoking in the house, too?
No, dude. I mean, I got...
Well, I think it's healthy the way you don't get too anxious about the problems that you're causing.
He sounds so relaxed.
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't get it, man. Well, he's eating a...
While his brother has a looming divorce.
Have you ever had a good relationship with the sister-in-law?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, I'm the one that set them up so many years ago, but, you know...
Think you can get a little credit for that, right? You think you maybe get
Sure,
a little bit?
I think I'm owed a little bit of credit for this.
It's probably about 4 days of staying with them, though. That's probably it.
That's dinner.
So
They
you're
should
saying I
take you
should
to
just-
dinner.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, you don't need
So I should make it up
you're pushing what, like a month staying with them, somewhere around there?
It's getting close, yeah.
Yeah, month and a half. Yeah.
How you doing on cash? You borrowing money or anything like that?
I got some stored away. I got a little bit of Bitcoin, so I've sold off over the years. So.
He's got a Bitcoin. That's your. What do you do for a living that you can take all this time off?
I'm in between jobs.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Okay, well, honestly, man, you're a guest. I mean, if we can just stop all the joking here for a minute, you're a guest. There are rules. You've got to read the room. You've got to be a little bit more in tune with, what you're doing to this household.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to split for a week.
Yeah, can you get a girl or something? Maybe take some of them Bitcoin dollars and get yourself a Motel 6 for a few days. Give him a little bit of space.
He lives in St. Louis, not Dubai. He
Yeah,
can
he
just
can
go home.
That's right. He can go home. It's only 600 miles.
It's not that big a deal. Go home for a week. Come back at Christmas.
And let me tell you, man.
Well, I mean, it's only a couple more weeks till Christmas, so I figure I'll just stay and then go home.
Yeah, don't do that. Go home, and that way, because you're not going to get invited back is what's going to happen.
And also, Dallas to St. Louis in the summer, you don't have to worry about the boxcars being all that cold. That's mostly running through the south. You should be okay.
Okay.
So if you want to
But
jump
for
on
now,
a train,
take your car back. Go away for a week and a half and come back.
Yeah, is that an option? Like, can you go give him a little space for a little time?
I mean, I guess so, but I think would it be too awkward to just show back up, or should I just call ahead of time?
Well, I'd plan it before you leave. You may want to discuss this with them.
Hey, get a key made.
No, don't get a key.
Take one of their keys. When they're sleeping, take one of their keys, and then first thing in the morning, run down to the hardware store and get a key made, and then just disappear, but then show back up and, like, be in the house, like, when they come home.
That's kind of what I was thinking, just leave unannounced and then just reappear unannounced like a magic trick.
Yeah.
That's not a magic trick. That's an annoying brother-in-law.
It's the brother-in-law who doesn't know boundaries.
Yeah.
Are there kids
An
in this house?
illusion.
Are there kids in this
No
house?
kids.
Oh, because it sounds like that would be your way to stay. It sounds like you would be the right fun uncle. He sounds like he'd be the fun uncle. You could pull like a...
Yeah, I wouldn't want the
Hopefully
fun
one
uncle
day.
staying around either.
They got a dog? I mean, are you doing anything to, like, earn your keep?
No, I mean, I clean up after myself. I mean, I'm not a slob.
when you're passed out on the couch.
Well, I mean, I don't soil myself on their couch, but, whatever mess I make, I clean it up.
Oh, well, that changes everything.
Small
I didn't
America.
realize you
That's
weren't
the way I look at
soiling
it.
yourself
All
on the
right.
couch.
Your
I
Honor.
want to be at least somewhat welcome when I come back. So
Yeah, that's why you got to leave when it's time to leave, or you're not going to be welcome when you come back. I can't say this strongly enough. Get out.
I mean, it's not like he's incontinent, or it's not like he's got,
Right.
there's...
Wait, hang on. They're coming downstairs. Hang on.
Oh, let's get them on.
Wait, you're calling from
No,
the house?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean. All right, guys, I gotta go.
All right, there he goes.
And he's gone.
He said he had to go.
Yeah, except that's what he doesn't seem to get is he needs to go.
He had this kind of, like, this easy, cool vibe. You know what he had? Does anybody? Did anybody
Expensive
else?
weed?
No, he reminded me of the way he talks, the way he delivered those lines. He reminds me of Danny Bayless. He sounded like Danny Bayless to me. Just very sort of dry and acerbic, and just totally. That dude was oblivious.
I heard Marlboro
totally
Reds
to what his
in that
problem
voice.
was. Yeah.
No, that dude doesn't have a problem. That dude is other people's problems.
God, that's great. That's like the old Belushi bit. Remember the Belushi bit on Saturday Night Live, the guest that wouldn't leave?
Yeah.
That's right. That's who that guy is.
Except that was just late in the evening, not 3 weeks later.
Wouldn't leave the party. It's like it's 4 a.m. and the guest that wouldn't leave is going through your record collection going, oh, man, this is a good one. Let's put this on. Yeah.
See, his brother needs to go, dude, you gotta leave for a little bit.
Yeah, but you know what? Talking to him for just that little shred of time that we talked to him, I don't know that genetically his brother's going to be any better. He doesn't seem to have a clue at all as to what he's doing. And I imagine the brother is the same way. I imagine the brother is saying to the wife, well, he's my brother. He's family. He doesn't understand at all how this could possibly be an imposition to his wife.
This is why I think it's so important to remember never to invite people over.
Never. Don't ever let
You don't
in.
invite people over.
No.
You don't go to people's houses. You don't run into these problems. Prevention is the best cure, Pugs.
It truly is. All right, let's take a break. We are going to. Are we early on this break, or are we right here? Because I don't want to take another call.
A little bit. You guys can chat on for a couple more minutes if you want to.
Yeah,
We're good.
I don't want to get into a call because we got to jump into a break. So 214-787-1971, 214-787-1971. This is Mansplaining. I'm Pugs Moran. He's Dr. Robert Schwartz. We're here till 11 o'clock tonight. Also, don't forget, we're also on Tuesday night. So we'll be taking your calls Tuesday night as well.
You okay then?
Yeah, I'm having a little bit of a thing coming up and going.
Phlegm issue?
Yeah, you know what? There is something that I wanted to mention. Jesus, I don't even know if we can do this in quick time. Did any of you guys hear, Ao, Lacey, Schwartz, did any of you guys see that dash cam footage from the car accident that occurred on the Bush on Thursday night?
No.
It was absolutely horrifying. There were two guys, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, these idiots that are street racers. Two guys, one guy in a Corvette, one guy in a Mustang, street racing.
That just happened literally coming over here now on 635. It was a Corvette racing a Mustang.
It's all over the
It's
place.
always a Corvette and a Mustang.
It's always Corvette v Mustang.
This was Thursday night.
Ego versus ego.
Thursday night, and one of the people who was just driving in the center lane happened to have one of those dash cam recorders, so you saw everything in front of them. They're just trucking along. You see a little Hyundai in the right lane. The Hyundai's just, dude coming home from work, doing whatever, and then out of nowhere, you see on this dude's dash cam, about 120 miles an hour, a yellow Corvette go right past him, and then a second later, on the other side of him, you see the black Mustang going right now.
Kids.
It's at that point that the black Mustang, which is on the right lane, doesn't see the Hyundai in the slow lane and slams into the Hyundai.
Rear ends it?
The Hyundai's probably doing 60, and the guy in the Mustang was doing about 120. He slams into the Mustang. The Mustang goes flying. His Mustang goes careening across, T-boning the Corvette, sending the Corvette end over end down. This was over by Grandscape. This was right there, right at the
What happened to the Hyundai?
You know what? I've been afraid to look into it. 3 people were choppered to hospital, so it ain't good. There were no deaths at the point that I was reading it. There were 2 people in critical condition, but... So I saw this on Thursday night, and I'm completely freaked out by it because it's just such a random thing. And then I've
seen that twice driving here to do this show.
So you saw the aftermath, or you saw the actual accident?
No, I saw.
You saw the aftermath. Yeah,
Corvette.
Just idiots racing.
This time it was a Corvette versus Mustang. Last time it was Corvette versus Mustang versus Charger.
I can't. These people.
What the hell?
Nobody infuriates me more than these idiots that are on the roads, because I'm just so anyway. So I'm telling my kid's in the car. I'm picking him up on Friday, and I'm like, I'm a little bit shook because I saw this thing, and now we're driving. So Schwartz, 15 minutes later, we are coming down the tollway, and we are exiting at Mockingbird on Friday night, and the cars are backed up. They are all the way backed up in the far right lane of the tollway. There's probably 50 to 70 cars backed up waiting
to get off at Mockingbird. It's always slow there.
Meanwhile, everybody else is like just whipping by. Yeah. I'm sitting there in the lane, and all of a sudden we hear boom, and like all. Schwartz, somebody flying in the right lane slammed into the car right behind me and my kid, sending that car careened into the side. Didn't hit me. I thought we were dead. I thought we were absolutely dead. My kid had his headphones on, was in his phone. He heard it. I mean, he heard there's an unmistakable sound of cars hitting cars when they're right next.
Stomach churning.
And then an explosion. It's not like it's like just this crunch and a pop. It sounded like an explosion, not an explosion like
the windows blowing out,
like that. It was just, the noise was so unsettling. I swear to God, it had me wigged out for a good 12 hours after that, because
I guess
we are all so vulnerable out there, man.
Have you guys ever heard of the Denton County corridor, the 380 corridor?
Yeah.
Okay, 380 east and west between McKinney and Denton.
Mm-hmm.
Awash in youngsters' blood. I'm telling you, I lived out there, still live pretty close. So many accidents, so many deadly accidents, especially around Broswell High up there. And it's youngsters.
I think, it should be, I don't know what the rule is, because I've never been stupid like this, but if you get pulled over for drag racing and it's pretty obvious, I think you should lose your license for 10 years. I think you have proven that you, at whatever age you are, need a little bit more seasoning before you can be trusted as a licensed driver. It's the only way to stop these idiots.
Do you go to jail for that?
Oh, I sure as hell hope so.
I would hope so, yeah. I would hope that there's a jail sentence for that, because it's just, you see more and more of this, of people who just live in the world as if they're the only person in it.
It's horrifying. I will kill my kid. First of all, my kid will never have a sports car. These people who buy their 17-year-old idiot kids these sports cars because, I don't know what, daddy's love or something they're trying to buy their effect. That's so stupid. You know what my kid's going to have? My kid's going to have like a 2004. No, he's going to have like a 2004 Hummer. Remember the original Hummers?
Oh, you're going to wrap him in steel.
Oh, yeah. He ain't,
that's a good idea.
I don't want him getting killed by anybody.
My oldest still doesn't have a car.
Good.
Neither does mine.
He's really just got his driver's license. So, but he would give me his list of what would be acceptable to him. And I go, look, I don't know what car I'm going to get you when the time comes. The only thing I know about is you're going to hate it.
You're not going to love it.
You're not going to like it.
I tell my kid the car
he's thinking like 1987 Buick LeSabre.
My son's first car, I tell him it's going to be the one I'm driving now. It's got low miles. It's in good shape. The engine works great. He's going to have a, what is it? It's a 2018 Malibu. Enjoy that, kid. You ain't going to be doing 120 on the tollway. No way.
Or having a girlfriend.
He'll have plenty of girlfriends, Schwartz. He'll be fine. We got to take a break. We'll come back. We see your calls. We will take them right on the other side of this. I promise you. 214-787-1971. That's 214-787-1971. It's Mansplaining with me, Pugs Moran, and he, Dr. Robert Schwartz, back after this on 97.1 The Free.
This is Mansplaining on KEGL Fort Worth, Dallas, 97.1 The Free.
It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who, at the best, knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who, at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat.
Let me tell you something. Nowadays, everybody's got to go to shrinks and counselors and go on Sally, Jesse, Raphael and talk about their problems. Whatever happened to Gary Cooper, the strong, silent type? That was an American. He wasn't in touch with his feelings. He just did what he had to do. See, what they didn't know was once they got Gary Cooper in touch with his feelings, that they wouldn't be able to shut him up. And then it's dysfunction this and dysfunction that and dysfunction my
I know. All right. Oh, you caught our little behind-the-scenes conversation with me and Lacey. We're preparing for the big Leather and Lacey segment coming up at 10:30. We don't pay her, so, we got to let her do a little something here. Yeah, she's good. She's good. She's all right.
Look, it's all about a moment in the sun, right?
I guess.
It's not doing this for the money.
The spotlight. What's wrong, Pugsley? Oh, did you come unplugged down there?
Yeah, I accidentally unplugged my headphones. Okay. All right, welcome back. Hour 2 of Mansplaining. I'm Pugs Moran. He's Dr. Robert Schwartz. We got Ao. We got Lacey. I'm not loving this new dynamic that is just naturally occurring between me and Lacey. Why has it got to be adversarial? I'm not an adversarial guy.
I think it's you're constant criticizing her.
I used to like you, Pugs. That was
it.
a long time ago, though. Come to find out.
Come to find out. All right. Wow, y'all. All right, we got room. We got room now. 214-787-1971. 10 o'clock hour usually drops off. It's we got a couple calls, but All right, would you guys stop it? What are you doing? Explain. What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything.
No, you've been doing this for the last hour and a half, and it's super distracting. Tell people what you're doing,
I'm not doing it while we're on the air.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
What's he doing? I missed it.
Okay, so
Shaking your head.
have you seen the Dawn AI app?
Oh, the AI. That's what I was talking about at the beginning of the show. That's his profile picture on Facebook now.
Yeah, so I made me as Jimi Hendrix. It didn't work. What do you want me to do?
Let me see that.
No, that's for off the air.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a major market.
When we're doing video in here too, we'll put that on the air.
You people.
It didn't work anyway.
too.
It looked
it's like a Chicago thing. I keep saying that. We love you. We love you so much, and I think it's because you guys love each other that you scrap a little bit.
What's he talking
everybody
about?
shut up. I don't know. He's trying to fix the relationship between me and Lacey. I don't know
I'll stop.
We'll see how this works. Stop it. All right. Can we get the show back? Can we get the train show back on the train track?
What we do here.
There we go. All right. 214-787-1971. 214-787-1971. What we do here is we take your problems, your conundrums, your dilemmas, whatever they are, calls, whatever's happening in your world, comments, beefs. You got a beef? You just want, you know what? If you're not being heard, you just want to be heard, go in.
You're going to be heard by a lot of people this way.
We'll let you rant. That's okay. Just give something for me and Schwartz to chew on. That's all. That's all we care about. All right, let's, Jane. Oh, look at this. Jane. Hi, Jane. You're on Mansplaining with me, Pugs Moran, and he, Dr. Robert Schwartz. Welcome to the show.
Hi. So I had an interesting question. My boyfriend and I are kind of in the middle of you see, he wants me to do mushrooms with him and his friend, and I don't think that I'm ready for something like that. I don't really feel comfortable doing that.
You mean like on pizza, or you mean like hallucinogenic mushrooms?
You know what she means.
I'm just trying to make sure everybody knows what she means. Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I mean like the drug, like hallucinogenic mushrooms. I wish they were stuffed mushrooms.
I wish
you wouldn't object to doing stuffed mushrooms with him and his friend then?
I wouldn't object to doing hallucinogenic stuffed mushrooms. That would actually be nice. Maybe we can combine the two.
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
No?
No.
All right, so how old are you? Jane, I'm sorry. How old are you? You sound very young.
Yeah, I'm 23.
23. Okay, very good. And you've never done, what is your drug history like? Beer, wine, maybe a little weed? I mean, how deep do we go?
Well, I'm like a casual drinker, more of a social drinker, really. Frankly, I never really do it by myself. And usually my boyfriend he's mostly a social user of any kind of drugs. But typically it's just been alcohol and weed up to this point. But his friends have just started trying mushrooms, and he had so much fun with it. And, he wants to include me because he had so much fun. He wants me to have so much fun.
Now, is he like, now, did he only just recently discover it, or has he done it a bunch of times and it's only just revealing itself to you? Or did he really just discover it and he's like, this is so good, it changed my life, I want you to try it? Which is it? Like,
it's fairly new to him.
Like, he didn't spend 10 years following fish around, right? I mean, he seems like this is fairly out of character for him, is what I'm getting.
Yeah. I mean, like, he likes to have fun, and like I said, like alcohol and weed, but As far as I know, this has been his first time trying mushrooms.
Okay.
And he wants you
now.
to do it
Mm-hmm.
with him. So
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
so let me just say something first. As
Please.
someone who has done mushrooms and who loves mushrooms, love them. I absolutely
Really?
love them.
I didn't know that.
In small doses. I had my friend made mushroom tea once, and he didn't know what he was doing, and he made way too much, and we drank it, and I was high for a week, and I swear to God, I haven't done it since. This is going back like 30 years. Like
I have a tea story.
It was too much. This is why it's very important, Jane. If your boyfriend is trying to get you to try this, and your boyfriend is a novice, you must. If it's your first time trying any kind of a hallucinogen, and I'm not going to tell you not to do it because you're a grown up, and this is actually something that is coming back into vogue. I mean,
In micro, yeah.
the
it is.
micro dosing is like a thing that dudes who wear suits every day are now doing. Silicon Valley is filled with people who are just a little bit tripping balls every day. And it's
THC too.
so that's what my concern for you doing it for the first time would be that you're also doing it with somebody who's not really all that skilled, and you might have a situation like I had where you take way too much and you see people pulling bones out of their heads. That's what I saw. It was very weird. Schwartz, you're a doctor. You probably have more clinical advice for her on this.
Well, look, I'm not necessarily saying you should do it. The first thing I'd want to know is what are your concerns about doing it?
Well, I typically kind of stay away from drugs in general.
It's a good rule of thumb. It's a good rule of
drink
thumb.
here and there.
No, it is. It really is.
Thank you. I think so. Well, I just, there's some addiction in my family, so in general, I don't love it. So, frankly, if my boyfriend had been like really into this when we started getting together, I don't know if that would have worked for me. So
right, that would have been a turnoff.
Well, how long have you two been together?
Just about 5 months.
Okay.
So it's fairly new, but we're comfortable.
I think the answer here is pretty straightforward. Don't do it. Don't do it. You don't want to do it. It's not for you.
I don't think we've established that she doesn't want to do it. I think
she
has
just said that.
No, did you say you don't want to do it? Is there any curiosity on your part? I mean, because you don't strike me that you're saying you don't want to do it. You're just conflicted here. Like, do you think this is going to make you uncool in he and his friends' eyes? Is that a concern? Because,
Yeah, a little bit. I don't want to be. I've had some people in the past who, think of me as kind of a party pooper, and I don't want to. Okay. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be a stick in the mud.
Whatever.
But
Poop away.
Am I
Seriously.
super jazzed about the idea? Not particularly.
Okay, well then no.
Then don't do it.
No, yes.
Don't do it.
I would think that this is the sort of look. I can tell you that the first time I did it, I was pretty. I was in that camp of the people who went, holy crap, that changed the way that I view everything. I mean, I really had that. There was.
Do you really still feel that way?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's changed your thinking forever.
It definitely. Yes. Yeah, it did. Yeah, I would say that. I am not saying that this is something that everybody should do, but what I am saying is that if you want to do it and you do it, make sure that you are safe. Make sure you're doing it in an appropriate amount. You're not going to OD on mushrooms, but you could freak out and do something stupid. So you want to be smart about it. But if you're curious about it, I don't think it's a terrible thing. I think it really does open your mind to all the possibilities of the world, and that's a fun trip to take.
Yeah, but with anything like this, the reason to do it is because you want to do it, not because someone else wants you.
You've got to have the curiosity. Right. Otherwise you could be.
I don't think you'll enjoy it if you're doing it reluctantly.
No, you won't.
Honestly.
If you're afraid to do it and you unfortunately do a little bit much because the people that you're doing it with don't know how to, right? This is a real problem. You got if you're just like, I got like 3 ounces, let's cook it all up and eat. No. Yeah, no, it's just you got to have people who know what they're doing. And then if you go into it, it is such a, AO, you can probably help me out on this. whatever your mindset is when you're doing it will be amplified.
Magnified, yeah.
So if you are excited and you're going to have fun. But if you're a little bit afraid of it and all that, you could have what they describe as a bad trip, where all of a sudden you're afraid of the colors that you're seeing. You're afraid of the sounds that you're hearing.
Or even yourself.
Yeah.
You get like, oh, I'm a bad person.
You know, this is Schwartz. You're a pretty straight guy, but you drink and all that. I've never known you to do any kind of an illicit drug. Have you ever done anything like this, like a hallucinogen or something like that?
Anything I might or might not have done would have been at a college age.
Yeah. Okay. So like back then, I can tell you that I really want to try this ayahuasca. I really want to try
What's that?
Ayahuasca is. It's like that. It's like an Indian. It's a natural hallucinogen. Do you know what ayahuasca is?
It's a little capsule you take like a prescription med, right? And it's got natural stuff inside of it.
Oh, well, maybe it comes in that way, but they are little caps. They're like little caps that grow in the ground.
Yeah, measured.
It's what the Indians used to take to go on their spirit walks and all that kind of stuff.
It's like a peyote kind of a thing, I guess.
I'm very open-minded to the idea of these kinds of drugs and what they can do for you in the proper setting. You know, like don't drive anywhere for 24 hours. You know, make sure that you're. But Schwartz is right. If you have any hesitation, don't do it. Don't let them force you into doing something like this, because this could possibly be a life-altering experience for you.
That's true of like everything in life,
But
isn't it? It's like don't do it because someone's pressuring you to do it.
Yeah.
So, Schwartz, you can't overdose on something like mushrooms?
I'm not sure that's true.
Hold on. Let's ask Google.
Let's ask Google. Yeah.
High enough you could go down all kinds of bad roads.
Yeah, this didn't come up that much in plastic surgery training.
I think that what you can have is if you take too much, you can have a really bad trip that won't go away.
Well, you can you can certainly hallucinate too hard and do dangerous things.
You can be
that you could
traumatized.
definitely do.
What happened to me was I did too much, and it basically made me lay on the couch because I was smart enough to know don't get up, don't move around, don't touch anything because, you know, I remember laying on the couch and like hours and hours later going, when is this going to stop? Why do I still
At some point, it wasn't fun anymore?
No.
Right.
After
Ready to
about 4
come down?
hours, it wasn't fun anymore. And it literally, we started, I can give you an idea of how this happened. We started at about 11:45 on a Sunday afternoon. The idea was we were going to just sit in my living room and watch the Bears game and have a little bit of a football game on Sunday afternoon. By 8:30 that night, and I know this because it was the series finale of Mad About You. Do you remember Mad About You? Series, 8 o'clock, 8.5 hours later, I am laying on the couch with my head on my wife at the time's lap, and she's going, "You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay." And I'm going, this needs to stop.
Oh, you're watching Paul Reiser hallucinating?
Yes.
Oh.
The final episode of Mad About You for me was cool. It was
Warping.
crazy.
Same time.
All right, Jane, honestly, Schwartz is right. Don't do it if you feel this is one of those big girl moments where you've got to decide who you are. And if it's something that you're interested in and curious about, then do it under the right situation. But don't do it because some boy wants you to do it with him.
Yeah, I don't think this is even a big room. I don't think this is even a big issue. I mean, if you don't want to, it's not. Yeah. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. I mean, seems straightforward.
But then also, but now we're dealing with the fact that she's already been labeled a party pooper, and she's
well.
worried
If he
about
does that and he goes down that road, dump him.
Yeah. If he's not cool with you, I mean, you can have a real heart-to-heart with him. Like, look, I don't want to do this. I'm not comfortable with it. And if he's the kind of guy that's like, no, don't worry, just do it. Then maybe he's not for you. Maybe he sounds like a self-centered jerk.
Yeah, you want a guy, if you're going to be doing this for the first time, you're going to do it with your boyfriend. You want a boyfriend who's going to be more like, okay, I'm going to take care of you. I've been down this road before. Here's a little bit. Let's see what happens.
But he hasn't.
We're going to be outside.
That's the problem. She's already said that he hasn't been down this road before. So that's my hiccup. If he was like, if he knew what he was doing and he could be your trip master, there's got to be a trip master.
Yeah.
If you're doing it the first time,
Jane,
there's gotta be a trip
I'm just
master.
of the school. Don't pressure people to drink or do drugs.
Peer pressure sucks,
just don't. It's such a lame
If I may,
thing to
Jane,
do.
before you go, Jane?
Yes?
Here's some things to remember if you decide that you want to and you're looking forward to doing something like this. Have some food in your stomach. That's really important. Okay. Make sure you're looking forward to it. You got a positive frame of mind.
Yeah, you got to be. It's the mindset because that's what's going to be amplified.
Claustrophobia is the devil. when you're on mushrooms. You want to be outside in a field. You want to be in an amusement park.
Birds chirping are also the devil. I'm telling you, the birds chirping were driving. We decided we were going to go sit outside under a tree. And it was like, wah, wah, wah. The stuff that we just completely tune out when we're not tripping balls.
Yeah, but Jan, that's not going to like freak you out and warp you and have you in a bad It's just going to be something that's going to be kind of annoying.
You just, Pugs, keep in mind, you just interrupted the Thomas Edison of hallucinations.
You did not. I dabbled in college, just like you did.
He's giving Nobel Prize level advice, and you interrupted that.
Can I get Jane? Here's what you're going to try to avoid. Here's the last little story I'll share with you. I was having a movement. I went into the bathroom while I was full blown, and I was having a movement, and I'm not kidding. I could not remember if I had wiped or not. And so I kept wiping. I kept going, all right, wait, did I just wipe? Oh, I got to make sure. And then I would wipe. And because I was tripping, it felt like I was never done. And it felt like it was blood. Blood.
Now I'm definitely not doing it.
I drew blood.
It wasn't blood. It looked like blood because you were tripping.
They ought to have you go around to high schools and tell your story to keep kids off of drugs.
Pooping.
They're like, oh, the bloody ass guy's coming to talk to us.
Kids, you're going to want to have a full stomach. You're going to want to be with somebody who knows what they're doing.
You want two-ply, the good Charmin.
You're going to want to vacate your balls. Vacate your balls.
Grateful Dead.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a good night.
She's awesome. Yeah, she's gonna be fine. She's gonna be fine. Look at us. It was like she was our little daughter. We were giving her. Well, maybe my advice wasn't fatherly. My advice was more like cool uncle.
Keep in mind, your initial advice was just do it.
214-787-1971. 214-787-1971. It's Mansplaining. I'm Pugs Moran. He's Dr. Robert Schwartz, and this is Bruce. Bruce, welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
We're doing great. What's on your mind?
So today I was at the bar with my girlfriend of recent. We've been dating for about 2 months now, and it casually got brought up that she wanted to have a three-way with my best friend, and it just made me uncomfortable, and we got into a fight about it. I'm calling to see, am I justified for feeling wrong about that, or
are you guys okay? So let me get the tenor of what's happening. Are you guys like skeevy sex people anyway? Like, is that something that No. Okay, so you're pretty straight-laced people.
I've never done it, and that's how I got brought up. Was she was like, "What's something you've never done?" I was like, "I've never had a three-way." Yeah. And then
you weren't talking about your best friend, though, were you?
Here's the thing: she wants to have sex with your best friend. That's the bottom line. She wants to have sex with your best friend. She made the wrong choice. You're not the one for her. She likes the best friend better. So, I mean, I hate to be so blunt about it, but that's how I would take it. I'd be like, you obviously want to have sex with my best friend.
No, thank you, because that's how I took it. And she's like, no, it's not like that. And I'm like, but it is.
Yeah. When you're proposing a three-way, I think it's really important not to name a specific person at that initial stage.
Never go specific.
It should just be some vague someone.
And also another.
I was like, I don't know anybody. Like what? Like because we were talking about, would it be okay if it's a guy or a girl? And then she straight up said that, and I was like, all right, I'm good. Like, this isn't gonna work out too well, because I agree with what you said. I think she wants to sleep with him, and
she's hot for your friend. Can I tell you something very similar about this? We used to, on an old radio show I used to do here in town with my partner Kelly Moore. We used to do a thing where every year we would update our lists, where it was our sexual exemption lists. Mm-hmm. And we had to do it every year because we were so terrible at relationships. Every year we had a new relationship, so we had to update them with whoever the new person was. I gave a girl that I was dating the assignment to say, give me your list of 5 people that if, for one night, the celebrity exception list.
She misunderstood the rules of this, didn't she?
She misunderstood the rules and listed all my friends. It's like, no, you don't get it. These are celebrities, not people that you could actually have sex with.
Do you know my sexual exemption list has now died?
Really?
There's 0 on it?
There was only 1 on it.
Okay, so let me see. Helen Hayes.
No.
You're mean.
No, it was Queen
Angela
Elizabeth.
Landberg.
It was Queen Elizabeth. Not because I really wanted to sleep with her, because the story would be unbelievable.
Would be great.
You would win forever.
Absolutely. You'd dine out on your sexcapades with Queen Elizabeth for decades.
Yeah.
Look, it is weird that she specifically named your
How have the 2 months been? with the girlfriend?
It's been great. It's been
right?
amazing. Like,
Yeah, well, good, because it's over.
Okay.
It's done.
Yes.
There's no coming back from this.
Yeah.
There's no
You're right.
coming back from this. Okay, and your friend needs to understand she's off limits to him too. That's just no.
Oh, I disagree with that.
Oh,
I
I don't
absolutely
know.
disagree with that.
Really?
Yeah. The move for Bruce is to dump her and then go to your friend, hey, she's kind of into you. Because if you do that, then you can show them that they can't hurt you with whatever relationship they create out of the ashes of your own.
No, it's not. I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about
you don't
her.
want to be
It's like,
policing your
no,
friend.
because that's
you
no.
don't want to
but
be
then-
policing your friend. Then it
You've
turns
policed your friends.
not in years. I have evolved. I am
No. Here's the thing. My friend's married. They're going through a divorce, but they're married. Like,
well, that doesn't really. That's okay. Yeah, no. But the thing is,
All right.
what's going to happen if she sleeps with your friend and then you're kind of that could mess up your friendship with your friend. I'm not worried about her. You don't. He should just not.
You should
It's the bro
theoretically
code.
like your friend, your best friend, more than her after a couple of months. So yeah, the problem she's the weak link. She can go. You can get
She
another
just
girl.
needs to go. Just go. Just call her now and break up.
How does she think she could still maintain a decent relationship with you after she name checked your best friend as someone she wants to have sex with?
I was driving home listening to y'all's show, and I had just broken up with her, and I was like, maybe like I'm overreacting
Nah.
to this. And I was
Nah.
like, let me get some random people in here.
No, you're right. But I do disagree with Schwartz. You don't have to tell your buddy that she's off limits. You don't want them to
Your
be able
buddy
to hurt
should
you with
know
that.
she's off limits.
Yes, your buddy should know. Your buddy should know, but whatever. If he wants to get it, you need to be like, yeah, go for it. Whatever, man. I'm done with her. She's kind of an idiot. That should be your position. They can't hurt you with whatever they create, out of the ashes of your love. All right, you good, Bruce?
Yeah, no, thank you guys so much. And Lacey is awesome. Have her keep the professional voice, though.
Lacey is awesome. Thank you, Bruce. 214-787-1971. It's 214-787-1971. It's Mansplaining. I'm Pugs Moran. He's Dr. Robert Schwartz. We're going to do Leather and Lacey on the other side of this. Back in a moment. It's Mansplaining on 97.1 The Freak.
You never know what you're going to hear on Mansplaining with Pugs.
Nobody from our generation was hooking up with the teachers.
And Dr. Robert Schwartz.
He just said he thinks he overstepped in sleeping with his girlfriend's mom.
Call us and tell us what is on your mind.
Well, to keep up with your theme, my wife's grandma's been living with us for a couple weeks, and I slept with her the other night.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Oh, stop.
No, you didn't.
214-787-1971.
All right. Lacey does very good work. Hey, it's Mansplaining. I'm Pugs Moran. He's Dr. Robert Schwartz. It's 97.1 The Freak. Mansplaining, typically heard Saturday and Sunday evenings, 9 to 11. It's a Sunday mansplaining show. Special mansplaining show coming up this Tuesday, 9 to 11. So come on back and join us.
A very special mansplaining show.
Yeah. Are you done trading Hitler pictures with my son? I don't know what's going on
You know
here.
what? I'll tell you something.
They're
I'll tell you
having
something
a
really
Nazi
interesting.
off.
That's probably a sentence that hasn't been said since 1945.
Yes, that's true.
Are you
true.
done trading
And I'm
Hitler
grateful.
pictures with my son?
All right, so let me give a little context to that statement.
Yeah, you probably should.
Schwartz and my son are playing with some AI app that turns you into famous people.
Not really. It basically takes your selfies and then it does computer-generated versions of you, which are amazing, by the way. But you can also tell it to, you can guide it as to what you want it to make.
And is that why the last 15 images of all of us I have seen has been us as Hitler? Why are we doing this? Why is there now a picture of me somewhere
Well, it wasn't
cosplaying Hitler?
It was okay. So
I'll never get elected to Congress with that picture floating around.
Well, it was a Hitler off.
Mm-hmm.
Who would be the best AI generated Hitler?
First of all, my son is 13, so he's immature and he can be, forgiven for this. And Schwartz has the last name Schwartz, so you can do whatever you want. You
got to go for really recognizable looks to make this work. Because I tried to do Jimi Hendrix earlier,
and it didn't work.
And it looked like grasshopper-eyed Jimi Hendrix. I don't know why.
Yeah, it was very
I don't
weird.
have bulging eyes. I don't have bulging eyes, do I? No.
No, and I don't want to see any more depictions of me wearing stormtrooper garb. Okay, I'm good. I don't need that anymore.
Okay, we got to figure out something else to do.
Well, he suggested Mussolini. That's where he went. After Hitler, he immediately went to Mussolini.
Did that work? Did it work?
Do him as Bin Laden. I mean, we seem to have
already done that
here.
one.
Oh, you've already done
I've already
Bin
done.
Laden?
Yeah, I've already done Bobby Bin
so
Laden.
Weird. If people only knew how weird you are. By the way,
I posted on Facebook me as Charles Manson.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that was Charles Manson. I just thought it was a really bad picture of you.
You didn't think my reference to like, hey, I know I would not misinterpret Beatles lyrics as badly as some people? What do you think that was?
I didn't know. I thought you were just being weird. I didn't get it, but now I do. That's
Now
a
it makes
good
sense.
joke. Now it makes sense. Now it
I
makes
said.
Okay.
Okay.
We're getting too far down the road.
We got Leather and Lacey to do.
We do. We've been playing Leather and Lacey for the last 3 minutes. All right, every show at now at the 10:30 break, which will be the final little segment of the show, we're going to, because it's very masculine in here. Nobody's more masculine than you and me, Schwartz. We're the testosterone is just, it's like pea soup in the air here. So that was pretty alliterative.
Testosterone pea soup.
Pea soup in the air. No, that wasn't good enough.
Are we going to have to do this song every time we do this segment?
Nah, but we are going to have some sort of a open and close created for it, which could incorporate this song for sure.
Maybe some of the hits of Leather Tuscadero.
That would work.
I know who should voice the intro and the outro.
Not you.
Me.
Okay,
Yeah.
Very good. All right, Leather and Lacey. Lacey, we're turning the show over to you. What do you have for us today?
Well, hey guys, it's naughty or nice season, and I came across this on Instagram Reels. Pugs, you still haven't started an Instagram yet, have you?
I have Instagram. I don't know how to get to it on my phone. All right.
Okay, I can help you. I can help you off air with that.
No, you can't.
But I came across this on Instagram Reels, and I thought maybe this could convince you to join it. At what point is this considered hot, or is it just alarming? This guy posed this question, and I'm just personally asking for a friend, but I wanted more of the doctor's opinion on this.
Yep.
So I read an article the other day that said men have better spicy time with women who are emotionally unstable. No, dude. No girl with their together is going to ask you to do that and then call you a bitch and tell you to do it harder.
So how do you feel about crazy girls? Is that hot or is that alarming?
Oh, crazy girls.
Yes. Because think about daddy issues. Is that red flags or is that hot?
Look, I know that it's like, guys, I want a girl with daddy issues. No, you don't. No, you really don't. Bad girls.
I don't really know the other kind.
Oh, really? So every woman you've ever encountered.
I just assume. Well, no, since my divorce, right?
Lacey, what's the difference between fun and crazy? Like, where are we drawing the line here? Because a fun girl who's up for anything is great. But a crazy girl, I've dated crazy girls, like really crazy. I had a girl at the Improv once go to the bathroom, and then like an hour later, my friend comes up to me and goes, "Hey, I saw your girlfriend walking down Beltline." What? She goes, "I gotta go to the bathroom." She goes to the bathroom. She disappears for like an hour and a half. I didn't even. Shows how good our relationship was. The improv's fun.
The improv.
I was enjoying comedy.
Yeah, you don't need someone there with you.
Somebody tells me, and then she shows up like 2 hours later, and I go, "I heard you were walking down Beltline," and she goes, "Oh yeah, don't ask about that." I'm like, "What? Why wouldn't I?" She was crazy. She was a crazy chick.
You're talking like mentally ill.
I'm talking like
full on. Yeah,
I'm talking.
It needs you on
fun,
medication.
Party girl,
but scary.
But what comes with the fun in the party girl is just some completely inexplicable nonsense. You'll just be like, "What?" Like, for instance, crazy. You want to know what one of my indicators that you're crazy? If their back seat of their car is an absolute train wreck.
I don't think so.
Is crazy. Yes.
No, that doesn't mean crazy. That can mean unorganized. That can mean
chaotic mind. Your back seat is representative of your mind.
That's acceptable crazy regardless.
Oh.
I think the
For a
difference.
guy,
You won't date a girl who has a messy back seat?
No. I
busy,
will.
single mom.
I'm just saying, no. Look, I was raised by a busy single mom. Her car was immaculate. Okay, it was clean. No, I don't. Crazy, no for a relationship, but to date for a couple. It's fun to have a colorful girl every once in a while. Yeah.
I think the difference would be if you can bring her around your friends or not. If it's someone that you just keep at home for the good time, or if you can bring her out in public without her embarrassing you, then maybe it would be fine, right?
What am I?
Is that the line?
What am I, Rick James? I got her chained to a radiator back at the house.
No, you're not keeping her there against your will.
Well, you kind of described it. All right, what else you got, Lacey? Leather and Lacey.
So, is it good to actually reveal your number when you're dating someone? Do people actually ask that question? There's this comedian named Heather that shares her experience with that on stage.
All right.
I don't know why this is important to some people, but right before I got married, my husband asked me, he was like, how many people have you been with? And I was like, why are you doing this to us? Suddenly I just turned into Alexa. I was like, sorry, I don't know that one. And he was trying to be so cool about it, you guys. He was like, okay, so what? So is it like 50? Is it like 100? I was like, nobody knows.
We've actually talked about this before, Schwartz. Go ahead.
I had an experience with this once, and I learned this is with the former Mrs. Schwartz before we were married. So she was the soon-to-be former Mrs. whatever. Anyways, so we're driving one night, and she goes, how many women have you been with? And I'm like, we don't want to have this discussion. And she insisted and nagged, and and we'd gone several blocks at this point, and I'm like, oh God, this is just going to go on. So I told her a number that was really sort of like a third of what the actual number was. Oh, that was like a 4-day argument after that.
Oh.
That was. There's no good number to have. There's no good number.
Typically, and Lacey, maybe you can correct me because you're a woman, so you would know that. I always just assumed that the women are dialing the number back and that the men are increasing their number. There is no, you know what I mean? Like if a woman's got 7,
you would
she's going to say
increase
4.
your number telling to a woman?
I think that a lot of guys try to up their
Why? I don't think they want to hear that.
Well, I don't think they do either, but I'm just telling you, most guys, I believe, would up that. Well, okay,
so you think most guys have
all
the
right,
number?
I lied. I up my number all the time. I
to women? I could see you upping your number to another guy, but to a woman, they don't want to. What number? Let me ask Lacey this, okay?
Oh, yeah, what's
you
your
ask
number?
No. Well, we'll get one second.
Okay.
You ask a guy, what's your number? What number do you want to hear from him?
I don't think in my entire adult life that I've asked anybody that.
All right.
Younger starting off, sure.
Okay, again, this is a sliding scale based on age. 40-year-old man, what number are you comfortable
What do you want
with?
him to say?
40-year-old man.
What's going to sound good to you? What do you want to hear when you ask this question?
10. That's a good, nice double digit without being too high, but without being too low. But I wouldn't ask somebody that.
So an unattractive man is what you're looking for. Because an attractive man is going to have way more than 10 at 40, right? Wouldn't you say that's fair? An attractive guy.
But I said I'm not asking that question, so I don't really have a number in mind.
But this is my point. It's like there's not a good answer for this. There really isn't, because
certainly not for the woman.
Yeah, because look, you didn't really even have a specific number in your head. And if he had said 30, what would you have thought?
Wow.
Yeah. What if he had said 2?
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Well, that's why guys increase their number.
There's a handful of numbers on this where I guess you win, and then an infinite number of numbers where you lose. So, so like too low, I don't know, or over 1,000 or whatever. It's just not good.
Well, what's your number, Lacey?
10.
I knew it.
10. There you go. All right, what else you got for us?
Okay, there's this angry guy on Twitter that really can't stand it when the ladies try to ask for compliments and they already know the answer. So then I want to know, what are your pet peeves after this?
Okay.
If you had 24 hours with me and I couldn't say no, what would we do?
Sexual intercourse. That's the answer for all of these. Every single one of you that are, well, if you had 24 hours with me, what would you? Sexual intercourse. Every single time. We don't need to do anymore. All done. You're so hot. Hubba hubba. Want to have sex.
So his point is people are out there fishing for compliments, wanting like, oh, what is it that you would do for me? But his whole response is there's only one response. Why are you out there on the internet asking for validation? Why do you want guys to come up with this big proposal?
Yeah, we see that a lot on social media. A lot of like thirsty girls looking for strange men to compliment them.
Isn't that the
Guys, how do you
entire-
like my new top? And it's like a bikini top, and it's 2 sizes too small, and it's
Isn't that
so
the
gross.
entire point of Instagram? Really, when you get right down to it,
narcissism. That's all it is.
It's just tell me how pretty I am. Tell me how nice my car is.
Self-sexual exploitation and narcissism are essentially.
Tell me how fascinating my meal is. Just whatever.
So what would I do?
Well, I was wondering, what are y'all's personal pet peeves? Like, this guy cannot stand it whenever people are out asking for compliments.
Well,
I don't like it when people can't take a compliment. When you give someone, when you give a woman a compliment, she goes, "Oh no, I'm not pretty." It's like, okay, fine, I take it back. Whatever, you're not. I hate it. Just say thank you and let's move on. Don't turn it into an argument.
That's a really great social observation there, because that's another thing that drives me. It's not going to be my answer, but yeah, I always go when you sincerely offer someone an apology and they make you feel like an a-hole for it, like that you just crossed and I'm not saying like they're mad, but when they like deny it, just stop it. No, I'm like, well, I just paid you a compliment. The response would have been, "Oh, thank you," and we move on.
Right.
We've just had a nice
Thank you.
moment.
Kind of you to say that.
Yes.
Don't argue the point with me, because you know what? I'll let you win, and
That's right.
I'll take the compliment back. I don't care that much.
Yes, the shoes are nice, but man, are you annoying. So there you go, right? You're a bad person with nice shoes. I liked your shoes. No, my answer would be, I think I already mentioned it. My pet
dirty
peeve
back
is
seat?
a dirty back seat.
Mm-hmm. No, it's not.
It's a big one. It's a
That
big
can't
one.
be at the top of your list.
Smokers. I also don't like smokers. I've never been with a smoker. I draw
You've
the
never
line
dated
there.
a smoker?
I've never dated a smoker. No, I have been with a smoker because I used to have this rule like, well, she smokes, but, she's an 8. Like, I used to have like a rule, like if they were over a certain, then I would let certain things slide.
What was the minimum number for a smoker?
Well, you had to be like an 8 or a 9.
What was the number for a non-smoker?
I just had to like them. I just had to be attracted to them.
Any number?
Yeah, any number. Well, I mean, if I like a 4, I like a 4. You know what I mean? But yeah, but if somebody
but a
was
smoker, you can't like if they're a 7.
It's not a relationship I want to be in. I just the smell, and I just don't like it. There's something about it. My mother smoked growing up, and I hated it. And I have these memories of now my mom hasn't smoked in 40 years, but when I was very little, she smoked. And I have this memory of waking up on the morning and just her smoking her morning cigarette, and the first thing me smelling was just like cigarette smoke wafted. I just hated it. It ruined everything. All right, Lacey, that's it. We're gonna wrap. You want to wrap it up with something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say my pet peeve. I've said it before. Small talk. I cannot stand it whenever somebody becomes my friend on social media and then wants to hit me up. Hey, beautiful, how you doing this morning? And it's like, do you have something to say, or did you just get that so you can talk to me? That's so stupid to me.
That's not
and
small talk.
I hate conversations. Just don't. If you have something to say, call me. If not, no.
That's not small talk. He's trolling you. He's trying to pick you up. Hey, baby, what do you got? That's not small talk.
He doesn't have anything to say where he can, intelligently catch your attention.
And in an odd turn of events right now, Pugs, my pet peeve. But I think we're mending. I think we're getting over it. Thanks, guys.
Can't win. There she is, leather and See, we need an out. A nice little, that beautiful
Yeah, I should have had it ready.
string there from Fleetwood Mac or whatever. Who was it? Stevie Nicks and who?
Stevie Nicks and Don Henley.
That's right. That's right. Not Stevie Nicks and Al Jolson, as we
No, that was-
originally guessed. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. It's Mansplaining. I'm Pugs Moran. He's Dr. Robert Schwartz. Back after this on 97.1 The Freak.